other members of Township Board, Solicitor David Bruman. David passed away unexpectedly this weekend, so we please observe a moment of silence. Thank you. Just a reminder to the Planning Commission and anybody else who wishes to speak tonight, to please speak clearly into the microphone. The meeting is being recorded, and so everyone on Zoom can also hear it. First order of business is the approval of the minutes from the February 10th, 2026 meeting. Have all planning commissioner members opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes.
Are there any corrections or comments to note?
Yeah.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Approve.
Second.
All in favor to approve the February 10th, 2026 meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
Abstain as well. Motion carries 3 approvals, 0 nays, and 2 abstentions. The next agenda item is 4.1, the zoning ordinance update. With that, I will turn it over to Nathan Jones.
You're muted, Nate.
Yes, thank you, sir. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, excellent. So thank you all again for your input at last month's meeting. We did take everyone's input and consider everything that we could within the legal bounds that we're able to do, and have made modifications to the original ordinance that was brought before you to incorporate some of those changes. We do have new language at the end of the section of the ordinance requiring annual reporting for a number of items, such as water usage, sewer discharge of wastewater, electrical usage, emergency electrical usage from generators on site. And I have heard that there might be interest in looking at something else at a later point when you all comment. We've also included language that requires the sound dampening or insulation of sound within data center structures to try and mitigate the impact of any noise within a neighborhood. We do have the closed loop cooling system that is required as part of the ordinance as well. And then with respect to some of the other things that we did look into, such as renewables and usage of renewables on the site, we did note that that would be likely, potentially, a large-scale thing that would need to be done, not just for this use, but a number of uses. So it could be something that we consider at a later date in time, but is maybe something best suited for an overall section of ordinance at a later date. And not part of this original section for data centers. With that, I was going to see if there were any further comments that the planning commissioners would like to make. Our goal, again, is to take this data center ordinance and hopefully receive a recommendation this evening so we could proceed forward with a hearing, bringing it before the Board of Commissioners for a vote to advertise so it becomes available to the public. It's sent to the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission for their review, and eventually a public hearing. We do have another piece of ordinance to discuss, but I figure we will talk about data centers first. That's all I have for you all. I would like to see if we could solicit any further feedback from the Planning Commission before we hopefully gain your recommendation this evening.
Thank you. Before we open it up to the Planning Commission, is there anyone from the public who would like to make a statement or have a question? Is there anybody on Zoom?
No,
Zoom.
there are 2, but you can't, no comments from Zoom. Have to be here for a comment.
All right, thank you. Public comment is now closed. I'd like to open it up to the Planning Commission for comment.
All right, I have a comment. I have a question on We added those 4 sections in 15, and we did talk about decibels and sound. I wanted to ask if we could do something to ask the applicant to annually provide the Board of Commissioners with a comprehensive decibel reading report, summarizing measurements taking probably on a quarterly basis, so we know what the decibel readings are, and then require that they must be conducted by a third-party professional licensed in probably sound analysis to ensure accuracy and impartiality. I just think we need to do something with sound. I read Lower Sawkins, I read Upper Sawkins, Upper Macungie. We don't have anything to do with sound. And I think we're going to be, if we don't do it now, we're going to be really remiss in the future.
Nathan, would you like to respond to that?
Absolutely. That's well noted. We can certainly add language that mirrors the other 4 points at the end, noting the requirement of a third party providing us with that documentation in an annual report. Right now we have that as a requirement due to the township for the other items I listed by January 31st at the beginning of every year for the previous year. So we could put that language in. If you were to make a recommendation this evening, it would be with some language that is agreeable to the township solicitor that we would then put into the ordinance that would go before the Board of Commissioners for potential advertising.
Any other comments? All right, hearing none. Is there a motion to conditionally recommend for approval the ordinance in front of us?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the recommendation, the conditional recommendation for approval with the added language for the third-party sound level testing, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion carries 5-0. Nathan, would you like to speak about the second zoning item?
I'd be happy to. The second zoning item is short and sweet. In the fall, as you all remember, we adopted language that addressed administrative changes to the zoning ordinance. They did not substantially change in any way, shape, or form planning related policy or use. It was really administrative for township purposes and effectively executing our ordinance during review process and enforcement and whatnot. One thing that we did as part of that was change some parking standards for ease of use and for clarity. One of the tools that we did as part of that was a parking matrix or parking table. The ordinance that was adopted in 2019 was basically set to utilize the ITE parking manual for trip generation to set up the number of spaces that would be necessary for a new use, like a restaurant or a dentist office, a bank, etc. And at this point in time, we now have a handy table that will help both staff and applicants more quickly come to a conclusion as far as the number of seats. As far as the number of parking spaces that would be necessary. I'll give you an example, which is why I said seats. For a restaurant, we are moving it to the number of seats, basic off of the number of spaces then thereafter, which we have found to essentially mirror what we've seen with the ITE manual. So again, this doesn't change anything that the Planning Commission recommended for approval or our ordinance. It's really an exhibit. And quite frankly, we were advised by the township solicitor that it should have been included in our packet in the fall. That is my missed opportunity there, and I do apologize for that. But what we are looking to do now is get it adopted to make sure that there is no question that that is the document that should be used by both design professionals and staff when determining the number of parking spaces. So there's no substantial change or anything. It's a simple tool that we've put together and had put together last summer and into the fall. And we would just like to get it on the books as part of the hearing that we're going to be setting up for this other ordinance.
Thank you, Nathan. I'd like to open the floor to public comment. Anybody on Zoom? Public comment is now closed. Is there any discussion amongst the Planning Commission? Nothing. Okay. Is there a motion to recommend approval of the Lormicondi Township Parking Matrix Exhibit?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. The next agenda item is staff department report.
Yes, thank you. I guess the only items that I have to report, and then I will turn it over to Mr. Trangucci and Mr. Russo if they have anything. We do have a number of items regarding land developments that are currently in process with staff. They are listed monthly on our agenda. There have been staff level meetings or calls with each of them as they work through their design matters to prepare for resubmission to the township. It's our understanding that at least one of them will likely be submitting for the April meeting. So we will likely have some land development activity for next month for you to review. I'd also like to note that just because it is planning oriented and we are working on it, the township staff is working to get a number of grant applications out this spring. Those grant applications are going to be to continue to expand and enhance our trail network, our local comprehensive plan, our rec plan, and basically all of our planning documents, our greenway plan, all speak to the need to continue to expand our trails to be as walkable as possible as a community and also get our residents as active and availably close to and to enjoy the creeks and the little lehigh that we have in our township. So we will be submitting grant applications to try and continue that funding to improve that system that we have in the township. That's the extent of comments that I have and updates I have for the Planning Commission. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. And otherwise, I would hand it over to Mr. Trangucci and Mr. Russo if they have anything else from a departmental perspective that they'd like to update you on.
Anything, Chris?
The only item I have is, if you guys remember the Hamilton Boulevard Dental Office, they are going before zoning hearing board this month to get relief for parking.
Thanks, Chris. The only thing I have is just kind of an update. You know, as the Planning Commission does see these plans as they come through, I recommend to the board. So just want to let the board, the commission know that 617 North Crocs land development plan, as well as NP Land Holdings land development plan, received conditional approval from the Board of Commissioners in the last month. So just so everybody knows here that those are moving through the process of land development, working on agreements and working towards recorded plans. So
Great, thank you.
that's all I have. I'd be happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
Any questions on the Planning Commission? All right, if there's no further business, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. This meeting, March 10th, 2026, Lower McCounty Township Planning Commission meeting is adjourned at 6:17 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.